The world of OutDaughtered has always been full of strong moments, big personalities, messy chaos, and the kind of emotional roller coasters that reality TV fans can't get enough of. But every once in a while, an episode lands differently, so differently, that fans themselves react louder than anyone on the show. And recently, the attention wasn't on the Quints, or Adam, or a major family update. It was on Danielle Busby and the intensity of one of her frustration-filled moments that made viewers explode online. Some joked that the chaotic energy was so intense it almost gave them a seizure, a dramatic way of saying the moment was overwhelming in the extreme. This script dives really deep into how that moment unfolded, why Danielle's reactions triggered one of the biggest fan conversations in months, and how the Busby family's constant juggling act continues to raise questions no reality TV family escapes. This is a raw, detailed, natural narrative, built exactly the way you asked. No scene commands, no directing language, just immersive, story-based scripting that feels real, human, and completely connected to the Busby universe. Intro: a week already on edge. The Busby household was tense from the start of that week. Danielle had been feeling the pressure of having 6 active daughters whose schedules had somehow become even more demanding than usual. Cheer practice, school projects, last-minute assignments, dance rehearsals, sibling arguments, messes piling up faster than they could be cleared. It was one of those weeks that hits a parent in waves. Danielle woke up already behind, already irritated, already feeling like she was sprinting without having taken a first step. She wasn't angry at anyone specifically, just overwhelmed. But overwhelm, when it accumulates, becomes something else. Something sharper. Something that reality TV microphones pick up very clearly. And that simmer became the starting point of a situation that would blow up across social platforms within hours of airing. The first crack: minor issue, big reaction. The first sign came during a simple morning routine. Hazel couldn't find her shoes. Blake misplaced her backpack. 2 of the Quints were arguing about something neither of them actually remembered starting. Riley made a comment that set Olivia off. And in the middle of it, the kitchen timer began beeping for breakfast in a way that only made Danielle's shoulders tense more visibly. Her voice wasn't raised, but it was tight.
Firm. Strained.
Viewers could feel it. She said something short, clipped. Just a sentence. Just enough to signal, I am not okay with this chaos right now. She took a breath, but the breath didn't do much. And the more the morning spiraled, the more the comments turned into full threads. People weren't attacking her. They were reacting to how powerfully her frustration came across. Some were empathizing, some were criticizing, and some were joking dramatically to lighten the mood. The pressure point: the meeting that pushed Danielle too far. Later that week, one particular responsibility finally broke her patience. It was a work discussion tied to one of her passion projects, but communication gaps kept creating new issues. Someone didn't send paperwork. Someone else answered late. Schedules overlapped. Miscommunications stacked like bricks. Danielle tried to explain what she needed, but interruptions kept slicing into her sentences. Her voice grew sharper, not louder. She tried again. Another interruption. She attempted to rephrase. More confusion. She wasn't yelling, but the intensity of the moment was unmistakable. Her words came out quicker. Her tone turned rigid. Her frustration was transparent. That rage almost gave me a seizure the way she snapped back. I had to pause the episode. It wasn't literal, of course, just exaggerated shock, the way people use dramatic humor online. But the comments spread. Memes were made. Reaction videos followed. Short clips circulated of Danielle's moment of frustration, some edited for humor, some for criticism, some for sympathy. The moment became a trending point of discussion across OutDaughtered communities. Adam's role: supportive, but confused. Meanwhile, Adam noticed Danielle's stress rising, and he tried to help. He wasn't pushing, wasn't judging, just watching her with that expression viewers recognize. The one where he wants to support her but isn't sure if stepping in will make things better or worse. And yet, despite his caution, the tension still escalated. The fan blow-up moment: Danielle's NF. The heightened reactions all centered on one single moment. One single spark that connected with viewers so strongly it took over comment sections everywhere. It happened when one of the girls asked a question at exactly the wrong time, right in the middle of Danielle trying to untangle her stressful work confusion. She turned, voice sharp, frustration visibly peaking, and said something firm, fast, and absolutely filled with pent-up exhaustion. It wasn't abusive. It wasn't inappropriate. It was simply intense. Again, not literal, just the internet being dramatic. But it caught the attention of thousands. Why fans reacted so strongly? There were 3 reasons this moment blew up bigger than expected. Danielle rarely expresses frustration so directly. She usually stays composed, patient, balanced, even when the kids push limits. So when she shows a raw, unfiltered reaction, it stands out. Fans are protective of her. Many viewers relate to being overwhelmed, and seeing her hit her breaking point triggered empathy, humor, and commentary all at once. The edit made the moment feel sudden. The producers cut from a calm shot to a tense one fast. Reality TV editing can amplify intensity, and fans respond not just to the moment, but to the way it's presented. The aftermath on social media. She talks too harshly sometimes. And then the humorous crowd kept the seizure joke circulating not as an insult to health issues, but as exaggerated internet slang, meaning the moment was chaotic and overwhelming to watch. Still, the volume of reaction surprised everyone. How Danielle addressed it. Danielle eventually spoke lightly about the moment online. She didn't apologize. She didn't defend herself aggressively. She simply acknowledged that some weeks are harder than others and that reality TV only shows small pieces of very real stress. She reminded fans she is a mother of 6, a wife, a business owner, a homemaker, a leader, and a human being with limits. I have tough days like anyone else. That episode was a tough week. I'm okay. Fans appreciated it. Tension faded. The conversation continued, but gentler this time. The deeper layer why Danielle's moments hit differently. There's a reason viewers react more intensely to Danielle than to other reality TV moms. Many fans see themselves in her. Her stress reflects their own. Her frustration mirrors their own experiences with work, parenting younger siblings, school pressure, or daily life stress. She represents control in chaos. So when she loses that control briefly, the entire dynamic of the episode changes. The family's response. In later scenes, the girls behaved a little more quietly around her, almost as if they sensed she needed space. Blake, always the intuitive one, asked if she was okay. Danielle softened quickly when she realized her stress had affected them more than she intended. And in that moment, the loud, viral, meme-fuel anger was replaced by something raw and honest, a mom who needed a breath. The reality of filming with 6 children. A key part of why these moments happen is the filming schedule. The Busbys are used to cameras, but cameras don't pause for emotional exhaustion. The crew can't predict when someone will reach their limit. Tension becomes content. Danielle never tries to hide her emotions, which makes her relatable, but also makes these spikes in frustration more visible than they would be in an unfilmed household. The big conversation is Danielle under too much pressure?
Danielle needs rest.
Real rest. Not a 1-hour break. Not a quick nap. Real time away from all responsibilities. And this sparked a bigger discussion about mom burnout in general, extending far beyond the fandom. The family's rebound. The final part of the storyline showed Danielle in a much calmer place. After a few days, a break from the stressful work issue, and a talk with Adam, she returned to her usual composed self. Chaos, not overwhelming chaos. And in a quiet moment, Danielle reminded herself why stress happens in the first place, because everything she handles matters. Her kids matter. Her home matters. Her work matters. Outro. Why the moment will be remembered. This episode will go down as one of the most talked about moments of the season. Not because Danielle did something wrong, but because she did something real. But they'll mostly remember that even the strongest, most organized, most seemingly unshakable parents have breaking points. Danielle Busby had hers on camera, and the world reacted loudly. Sometimes too loudly. Sometimes dramatically. but always because they care about this family and the journey they've shared for almost a decade. OutDaughtered, rage at Danielle Busby almost gives fan a seizure. In the world of family reality television, few households are as widely recognized, discussed, and followed as the Busbys, the energetic, loving, occasionally chaotic family at the center of OutDaughtered. Across multiple seasons, fans have watched Danielle and Adam navigate the surprising ups and downs of raising Ava, Olivia, Hazel, Parker, Riley, and their big sister Blake. Over the years, the public has grown deeply attached not just to the children, but to the parents themselves, their struggles, their humor, their honesty, and their resilience. But with popularity also comes scrutiny, and the Busby family knows this truth better than most. Whenever a story surfaces online, whether rooted in fact, exaggeration, misunderstanding, or outright fabrication, it spreads at lightning speed. And that is precisely the atmosphere in which the newest wave of speculation emerged, rumors circulating across social media claiming that Adam Busby had been arrested. The claims came suddenly and spread rapidly, gaining traction among certain gossip accounts and fan forums. Many fans were worried. Others were confused. Some repeated claims without checking their origins. And within hours, even people who didn't normally follow reality TV drama had heard of the situation. At first, the Busbys were silent. Danielle continued posting normal family content updates on her boutique, snapshots of the Quints school activities, little glimpses into their daily life, much like she always had. Adam kept posting his usual mix of gym clips, positive messages, and dad humor. There was no hint of tension from the family itself. But the rumor kept growing, and eventually it became impossible to ignore. Comment sections filled up with questions. Is it true? Why aren't you saying anything? Did something happen? We're worried. Danielle, who has always had a very specific way of approaching public misconceptions, found herself once again at the center of a moment she didn't ask for. She has always been careful about what she addresses directly, choosing to clarify only when necessary. She knows that acknowledging a rumor can sometimes strengthen it. But she also understands her audience, the real fans who genuinely care about the family, not just the noise from online gossip accounts. As the questions increased, Danielle decided it was time to address everything clearly, calmly, and on her own terms. She sat down one afternoon, quiet house, Quints at school, Blake working on a project, and opened her phone. She began typing. Not a dramatic statement, not a heavily edited video, not a defensive rant. Just her tone, her voice, her truth. What she eventually shared became the center of the conversation online, and soon the entire situation shifted. Her message began with the unmistakable tone of a mother who had both patience and boundaries. "I'm only going to say this once," she wrote, "because rumors grow when you feed them." And from there, she explained everything. Danielle clarified that Adam had not been arrested, had not been detained, and had not been in trouble with the law in any way. She emphasized that the story circulating online was based on distorted screenshots, misleading captions, and assumptions. She noted that the internet can take a normal event such as Adam not posting for a day, or the family skipping a vlog upload, and twist it into something sensational. She reminded followers that she and Adam have always been transparent when something significant happens in their lives. Whether it's her health struggles, their business decisions, mental health challenges, or family conflict, the Busbys have long made a point of sharing openly. They don't hide big changes. They don't disappear without explanation. So, if something genuinely serious had occurred, she said, the fans would know. But Danielle also went further than simply denying the rumor. She used the moment to talk about something much deeper, how dangerous online speculation can be. She wrote about how social media sometimes forgets that real people, real families live behind the screens. Rumors don't stay contained to a comment thread. They get repeated on TikTok, then posted on Instagram, then turned into a YouTube video, then screenshotted on Facebook, and soon they ripple into conversations with neighbors, friends, co-workers, and even people in public places who recognize the Busbys. And this can weigh heavily, especially on their children, who are growing up in a world that scrutinizes them more than they ever asked for. Danielle shared how the Quints sometimes overhear things that confuse them. They ask questions no child should have to ask. They see thumbnails or headlines while scrolling YouTube Kids or borrowing their parents' iPads. That, she wrote, is the part the rumor mill never considers the effect on the children. And yet Danielle didn't write with anger. Her message had firmness but also understanding. She acknowledged that most fans were simply concerned. Many who commented weren't spreading false information maliciously. They were trying to figure out what happened. She showed appreciation for the followers who came to the family's defense, who questioned the validity of the rumor, who reminded others to wait for verified information. After Danielle's message was posted, Adam added a short follow-up of his own. His tone was different, slightly more humorous, a bit more direct, but equally clear. He wrote, "If I ever get arrested, I promise it'll be because the Quints finally formed a rebellion and tied me up after I refused to give them more screen time." Fans laughed. The tension dissolved. The rumor faded. But the conversation around the rumor, its growth, its impact, and the way Danielle chose to respond held a deeper story worth exploring. And that is what this script continues to explore. Not the rumor itself, but how the Busbys navigate a world that constantly blends reality, entertainment, speculation, and scrutiny. As the narrative continues, we look into the broader impact of social media pressures on families who live publicly. Because the Busbys, like many reality TV families, share a unique relationship with their audience. They are real people who live on both sides of the camera. They understand why fans feel close to them. The show has documented some of the most intimate moments of their lives. But they also know that viewers sometimes forget boundaries, drawing conclusions based on small fragments and expecting explanations for every moment where something seems different. The Busbys have often said that filming a television show doesn't capture everything. There are days they take time off, weeks they choose to be private, moments they don't feel comfortable sharing because they need space to process things themselves. The family has hinted in past interviews that they have learned to protect certain aspects of their life, especially as the children grow older. In the wake of the rumor, Danielle spoke gently but honestly about this subject. She explained that the older the kids get, the more they deserve privacy. The family's social media presence is still active, but more deliberate than before. She said that fans sometimes misinterpret the family's quieter weeks as signs of conflict or scandal, when in reality, they're simply being a family juggling school schedules, household duties, personal careers, and children's emotional needs. She emphasized that no one can share every detail of their life, and nor should they feel obligated to. The public sees moments, not the full picture. And sometimes those moments get misread, creating gaps people fill with assumptions. She encouraged followers to pause before believing sensationalized claims, especially when they originate from accounts that benefit from spreading dramatic stories. Throughout her message, Danielle remained composed. And this composure is what has made her such a stabilizing figure on OutDaughtered. She is emotional when necessary, strong when she needs to be, vulnerable when she feels safe to be, and protective always. She understands that her family's fame comes with responsibility, but also understands her right to set boundaries. As the story spread, several fan pages posted supportive messages, reassuring others that the family had already clarified everything. Some longtime followers even shared their experiences watching rumors rise around the Busbys in the past to Umers about Danielle's health, about Adam's job, about the show's future, about the marriage, and countless others. Those fans pointed out that the Busbys have consistently kept their community informed about real issues while ignoring or shutting down false ones. Supporters also reminded newer fans that Adam himself has spoken openly for years about dealing with anxiety, stress, public pressure, and the challenges that come with being in the spotlight. When someone is that transparent, rumors claiming hidden scandals become easier to recognize for what they are, fabricated narratives meant to attract attention. The wave of messages from the Busbys' genuine supporters helped set the tone. And in the days that followed, the false rumor rapidly declined. Accounts that had originally posted sensational headlines quietly deleted them or switched to other topics. Meanwhile, the Busbys resumed their normal social media rhythm: family updates, business promotions, funny moments from the Quints, sweet sister interactions, and glimpses into their busy daily lives. Yet one notable thing remained. Danielle's clarification had sparked a larger conversation among parents who follow the family. Many commented about how easy it is to fall into the trap of believing the first thing they see online. Others shared stories of how online speculation had impacted their own lives. And some simply thanked Danielle for reminding everyone to pause before spreading misinformation. Danielle responded to a few comments, choosing them carefully. She thanked fans for their kindness and reminded them that, despite the noise, the Busbys were doing well. She also encouraged people to prioritize kindness across the internet, not just toward her family, but toward anyone who becomes a target of rumors. Her voice on this topic carried weight, especially because fans remembered the time Adam publicly addressed his struggle with depression years ago. Many realized that misinformation, negativity, and speculation can easily worsen mental health challenges. Danielle's message encouraged a more compassionate understanding of the impact words have, even in a digital space. But more importantly, Danielle's message helped reinforce something that has always been true about the Busbys. They face challenges, but they face them together. Nothing about their public life is perfect, but they approach their obstacles with honesty, humor, and unity. As the script continues, we explore how the Busbys use such moments to strengthen, not weaken the connection with their audience. Rather than treat supporters as outsiders, they acknowledge them as part of their extended community. That's why Danielle spoke directly instead of ignoring the situation. She wasn't catering to gossip. She was clarifying for the people who truly care. Moving deeper into the narrative, we see how the family internally processed the rumor. Not in dramatic confrontations or televised breakdowns, simply in everyday conversations between parents and children, between spouses who know each other deeply, and within a household that has always chosen faith, communication, and grounding as guiding values. Danielle and Adam both share the belief that when the world becomes loud, the home needs to remain peaceful. So instead of dwelling on the rumor, they focused on their children's emotional well-being, their own mutual support, and the continuing responsibilities of their busy lives. The kids, who often bounce back quickly from confusing moments, returned to their routines with ease. And the family remained united, just like they always have. Even though the rumor eventually faded, the experience left a lingering reminder of how unusual their life is compared to families who live outside the public eye. Their everyday choices, posting a picture or choosing not to, taking a filming break, skipping an event, are constantly watched, interpreted, analyzed, and sometimes twisted. It's a pressure that thousands of people never notice, but becomes a constant undercurrent for reality TV families. What makes the Busbys resilient is not perfection, but perspective. Danielle has repeatedly shared her belief that challenges, whether personal, public, emotional, or relational, are opportunities for growth. She often quotes her faith, reminding followers that she seeks strength not in avoiding hardship, but in facing it with courage and grace. This moment, though born from a false rumor, became one of those opportunities. It allowed Danielle to show leadership in a world where misinformation spreads faster than truth. It allowed her to reaffirm her values. And it allowed fans to witness the strength of her voice, not as a reality TV personality, but as a mother, a wife, a businesswoman, and a woman of faith. In the final part of this script, the narrative reflects on the aftermath. The Busbys didn't let the rumor define their week, their month, or their storyline. They celebrated wins, school achievements, personal goals, fun family outings, new products in Danielle's boutique, workouts Adam was proud of, and other simple moments that fill their daily lives. They continued